Hello and welcome to another episode of me painting again. Oh yeah, we're painting again. I'm going to get myself a little bit of ultramarine blue and cerulean blue and some white. It's raining pretty hard outside, but I wanted to do a painting anyway. So you might hear a little bit of rain in the background. So I've got some blue. I'm going to use this for the sky. We're going to have a go at painting a seascape using acrylics, and I'll try and explain everything the best I can as I'm painting, and hopefully you'll get some tips and you'll be able to do your own. So I'm using some cerulean blue, ultramarine blue and titanium white to make some sky. And what we have here, I'm using a flat brush. It's a number 20 Da Vinci, and I tend to only use a few brushes. There's this one, a number 2, I guess it's a flat brush. I've got this rigger brush, and then there's this number 10 flat brush again. I tend to use these four brushes at the moment for most paintings. But things change. When I find an old brush, I bring it back in the mix. But at the moment, that's what I'm using. And what we have here is a nice pad that you can use to do your paintings on, and it is a scrapbook that I got, and I got it from the range. I'm sure there's art shops or craft shops that you could be able to buy it from. It's just one of these earth coloured sketchbooks. So let's get this sky going. I need a bit more paint on my brush. Okay, and then below this, I want it to be a little bit darker. So get some blue, get a little bit of this sap green as well. Sap green and blue. Do it there. Need more blue. I want it to be darker. That's probably quite nice actually. Let's try that. And I want to get this nice horizon on both sides of the brush. Use one side of the brush, and then when that's gone on, then you can use the other side if you want to keep it dark, and then I can come forward a bit. And then this is still wet, so I can use my finger just to go over the top of that, just to mist it. So mist it away a little bit. And then as that dries, it should start to look a little bit better. I know the light reflects on these pages a little bit in the paint. So as it dries, it tends to look a little bit better. So I'm going to get some of this blue. So this is just a sky mixture, and it's got a bit of that green in it. And then I'll throw some white in. We can go a little bit lighter as it comes down then. And I can use my finger just to blend that a little bit. And, I need a little bit of yellow ochre in this colour, because it does have a bit of a yellow ochre-y look to it. That's quite nice actually. Don't mind too much if the page shows through because of the colour of it being a greyish colour. Just bringing that up a little bit further. Yeah, that's a bit better. Okay, now need to start looking at where the wave is going to be. There's going to be a really big, well, not really big, but a biggish wave, and I want it to be about there, sort of like there. I'll just do a bit of a, because you can do a little bit of a drawing, so you can imagine with a little bit of white paint on the brush, it's sort of here, and it's crashing there, and then over here it's crashing. It sort of crashes like that. It's like a curve. And then it all it starts coming out here. Comes out there. It's just the yellow ochre and the blues. A little bit of green in there. Comes out to about there. But of course, in there is a lot stronger colour. So what I want is some of this yellow ochre in with the blue. Cerulean blue and yellow ochre. That's about right actually. Tiny bit of white in it. We'll see how that looks. So as the water gets thinner as it breaks, there's more colour in it. It's more transparent up there. Just using my finger to smudge it a little bit. Some areas are a bit darker. Then there's a hint of that colour on there as well. Something like that, and then a slightly bluer version of that colour. You can see some waves in the background. Just sort of using the thin part of the brush and putting in shapes. And then we've got that in, and then we need a little bit of dark going in the bottom part, so it gets quite darker, quite a lot darker. Some of this blue and a bit of that darker colour. where the light is disappearing a bit. Of course you need the dark to show your light. This is just darkening a little bit. I'll just hold my pad up a little bit so you can see it better. And as this dries, it should start to look a bit more interesting. I want a bit more dark in the background as well. Sometimes it's using a little bit of painting magic. You can darken areas that isn't actually dark. But if you want something to be lighter, like the froth of this wave here, I want it to be quite light, so I've just put a little bit of dark in there just behind it, just to help a little bit. And then we've got stones and things. Up here. And then what I want is like a sort of almost grey, but using a blue and a red. That sort of a greyish colour. And I can start putting my froth in the water. Cerulean blue and the alizarin crimson's working quite well for that kind of a dull greyish, bluish. A greyish blue really. Need a bit of white in it as well, don't want it to be too dark. Some of the frothy bits. All the froth that's going up the wave. So this is the the building blocks to the painting. You put in all your middle colours and things, and then after a while you can start adding the lights. Some more of the blue and the red and the white. Blue, red and white. And then I can put in some of the marks on the beach. Something like that to start with. I know it doesn't look like much yet, but what we can do is now start building the colours a little bit more, because I think it needs to be a bit darker in places. So using some ultramarine blue and some yellow ochre. So a little bit of the ultramarine blue and the yellow ochre can make a darker colour, and we can start going into a bit more detail. We've created a base really, and now we're going to develop it further and start building up the shape of things. Underneath the wave there. And then so underneath that wave, and then we can go in here a little bit. Start putting in some of the darks. And as that dries, it should start to look a bit better. And then a little bit of the cerulean blue and yellow ochre can come back in and develop this colour. Okay, and now we can start putting some of the light in. So I've got some white, tiny bit of yellow ochre, making a sunshine colour. We can go into this grey and we can make it a dulled version first, a dulled light, which is what I like to do really. Get a dulled one first, so then we can start using the corner of the brush, start bringing these splashes over. Where this wave has crashed and I tend to use like rounded strokes, almost like little strokes like this, little curves. And it's coming down here as well. That nice wave, and even down here I can see there's little shapes, and it's breaking there. It's actually curving there. A bit of yellow on it. It's probably going over. And splashing. rest of it's gone over already. You can see through some of the water. Try and get some of this greeny yellow colour. I mean through the foam, I mean. The foam of in the water. That foam is a little lighter as well. And then we've got this light going, this foam pattern. Breaking a bit there. It's a bit of a reflection there. Something like that. And then you can take it a bit further. You can then go into the lights, so you get the first go at lighting it, and then the second go. So you can pick up some really strong light, the white and the yellow, and maybe there's certain areas like there's a bit more light hitting it. Maybe there. Wherever there's a bit more light, you can have some fun and boost it a little bit. A bit here. I tend to use a thicker paint as well. When I'm doing my lighter bits, I use a thicker paint and then it works a bit better. A bit more light on that one side. I can use the same for the background, some lighter waves. Something like that. Gives it a bit more interest. Might put a little bit more of this yellow, but a little bit lighter. A little bit more yellow, ochre and white in that area. kind of tap it away a little bit. Just get that a little bit more colour. A little bit more in there. Wherever you want your changes of colour, whether you want it to be a bit darker in the water, a bit bluer in places. More shape. A little bit of movement in that bit there, and then a little bit of frothy area here. Something like that. Get some more water going. And then what I might do, use my liner brush. Get some of this real light. In a few little details. Tiny little strokes, just to give the water a bit more movement in this area. A little bit more spray sort of up there. Something like that. And then in the background, a couple of little birds going. Another one there, three of them, three little birds just flying around there. Yeah, so that gives you an idea of how you can paint a nice little seascape. Nice easy one that you could do, no problem. Have some fun with the paints and enjoy yourself, and you'll find you're always learning little techniques all the time, and you'll create your own techniques, of course, as you expand your painting skill. Hopefully this helped you out. So thanks very much for watching this one, and I'll see you at another one. Cheers, bye.